Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, and today we have episode 4 of Real Talk for Lightworkers. So in this episode, I want to explain to you why what you're doing is so difficult so that you can give yourself some space and some slack and some compassion and some love, and also to provide you with some tools that you can apply to your life that is so challenging to make it less challenging. Okay, so being a light worker, all right, you are doing 100 million things under the surface that you are probably not even aware that you're doing, that make living in the world the way that you are trying to live in the world very difficult, okay? So the first thing that's going on with you all the time, all right, as a light worker, is you are simultaneously trying to live a normal life in society, right? Trying to work jobs, trying to have relationships, trying to do all these things like a normal person. And at the same time, you are energetically aware. So now, or let's put it this way, you are energetically being affected by the disharmonic frequencies that exist on this planet. You are being asked, essentially, to be aware of all the disharmonic frequencies that are existing within you and in the world, okay? So being reflected back to you through your experience. At the same time, you are not able, like the rest of the people who, and this is not to say that not everyone is a light worker and that not everyone is having this experience or will have this experience, okay? But we need to understand that as an energetically sensitive person, which you are if you're a light worker, okay, part of your job is to pick up on the energetic, inharmonious frequencies that exist because you are here to change them, okay? But when you don't know that that is what is happening, all right, you are constantly going to be aware of, as in being affected by, the disharmonic frequencies that exist all around you in society, inside yourself, and all of this. And at the same time, right, so you're being asked to hold a higher frequency and to be perceiving all the lower frequencies at the same time and transforming them, all right? So when you are someone who's not totally and completely aware of your light working skills and you're not really 100% sure of what's going on with you energetically all the time, you're gonna feel like life is kicking the crap out of you pretty much all the time, right? Like you're gonna go to your job and everyone else is gonna be able to go to their job and do their daily tasks and then go home and have a glass of wine at night or go out drinking with their friends or whatever, and they can kind of do this, right? They can get by, they can be happy-ish, and it seems like everyone else is able to sort of handle life better than you are, right? Where you find yourself going to your job or going out into the world or doing whatever, and you can do it for a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks, but you always end up crashing. You always end up getting super overwhelmed, or your body gets sick, or, right, something happens where you just feel fried and you feel completely why can't I handle this, all right? And the reason that's happening is because you are being affected by the energetic frequencies that are out of alignment with the truth, all right? And not only that, okay, so you are being asked to be aware of the disharmonies within yourself and in society, all right? And you are being asked to hold a new frequency. That is why it is so painful, before you understand this, to live as a light worker, right? Because you can't just live in the disharmony and get on with it like everybody else seems to, okay? And you're not supposed to. That's part of your gift, right? That's part of your purpose, is to come here to notice the disharmonic frequencies and to shift yourself so that you exist in a vibration that's higher and more harmonious and more in alignment with the truth than everybody else, okay? So understand that essentially what this means is that you are not going to be able to handle life the way everyone else is, okay? Because you came here, like I said, to shift things, right? You're here to literally carry a new vibration. You're here to first experience the disharmonic vibration that everyone else is feeling. and that everyone else is experiencing. And then you're meant to shift yourself to a whole new level and to live on a whole new level that's not the same as the aggregate, as a way of being an example. Okay? That is really the ultimate job of a light worker, is to be in the muck with everybody else, right? And then to shift yourself. And then, unfortunately, what usually happens with light workers is we take on this mantle of, okay, I feel the disharmony, I can tell that I can't like handle life the way that everyone else can, and we take one of two paths. So the first path is you beat yourself up, you think there's something wrong with you, and you try your whole life to try and fit in and change yourself, and you do things over and over and over again, like trying to get yourself to be able to go to parties, trying to get yourself to be able to do work, and you're just constantly like, man, I suck, right? There's something wrong with me that I want to spend time alone. There's something wrong with me that I can't handle this. There's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with me, there's something wrong with me. And so you go down that whole rabbit trail of like, I suck, and I shouldn't be the way that I am, and the way that I am is wrong, and I should be different, right? Or we go the route of, I'm going to change the world, right? I have some awareness, right, that what's bothering me is the disharmonic frequencies, right? And so I need to change my environment. I have to change the external world and make it better before I'm going to be able to feel good, right? And so then you go on this kind of crusade of like trying to change people and trying to change things and trying to change the way that the world works in this very like I'm gonna rescue the world thing, with the underlying understanding, or maybe you don't really understand it, that you're trying to change these things so that you can feel good, right? You think, I can't feel good till everyone else feels good, right? And so I have to change the world. And both of these ways of doing things are usually what kills light workers. Like, not necessarily kills you physically, but kills you spiritually, and kills you emotionally, and kills you energetically, right? It's assuming that there's something wrong with you, or assuming that you have to shift the entire world before you're going to be able to feel good, that is making this so hard, okay? So understand first, right? You are here to carry a completely different frequency. You are here to notice what everyone else is doing, and then to shift yourself to a new frequency. And you don't have to take anyone with you, and no one has to agree with you, and no one else has to be on your frequency in order for you to be on your frequency. And this is the key that will make your life as a light worker so much less hard. Now, it's not going to make it not hard, okay? Because the second, like as I go, I'll explain more about this. But just to understand, you are here to shift your frequency. You are here to say, okay, I was down in the muck with everyone else, and I shifted myself, and now I live on a new frequency, and this is what it's like up here, okay? And you're meant to be a kind of way shower, not to drag people, and not to assume that it's wrong that you can't fit in. You're supposed to say, okay, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to shift my frequency. And then for those who want to do the same, I am an example. But if they don't want to, it's not your job to bring them with you. And if they don't want to, that doesn't mean that you can't feel good. Okay? So that's the first thing, is understanding that you are here to shift your frequency. Now, what is so hard about this is that, again, as light workers, we're very, very, very aware of when something is out of alignment. You tend to be emotionally reactive, right? You're very energetically sensitive, so your body reacts to things really strong, your emotions react to things really strong, your mind reacts to things really strong. You can't just go out and be in a normal environment and just carry on with things, like I said, like everybody else. You literally struggle and suffer in a way that other people do not struggle and suffer. And so to understand that, right, and to know that that is because you are experiencing the difference between what a harmonic frequency feels like and what a disharmonic frequency feels like, and you feel it in your body every single time something is out of alignment. And now if you feel like shit most of the time, it's probably because most of the time you're in a disharmonic frequency, right? So what you are being asked to do is to figure out how to shift your frequency, okay? You are here to carry something different. And so if you can let go of the idea that there's something wrong with you and that you should be able to fit in. No, you shouldn't. You're not here to fit in. You're here to make a change. You're here to exist on a new frequency. You're here not to be a part of the aggregate. So that's number one. And number two, You don't have to take anybody with you. No one has to agree with you. No one has to come with you. No one has to be on your frequency in order for you to be on your frequency. It's just about you shifting your frequency. Okay? So what is difficult about this is that you cannot look to everyone else. You cannot look really to anyone else to show you how you need to live and what you need to do and how you need to think and how you need to be in order for you to be happy. Okay? What this is going to take is that you observe all the things that make you feel so terrible, that make you feel so overwhelmed, that make you feel so physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, emotionally overstimulated, right? All of these things that make you feel terrible. And like I say, instead of turning it in on yourself or trying to change the external environment, you go into self-love. You go into self-observation. You go into, okay, what is going on here? What is the frequency I'm picking up on that feels terrible? And how can I shift myself to being in a new frequency? Because again, you got to remember, while you are being reflected back in the aggregate self-hate, you're being reflected back in the aggregate that you're not good enough, that you're not strong enough, that you're not how you're supposed to be, that you're causing destruction, that you're bad and wrong and all of these things. But the truth is, none of that would affect you, and none of that would make your life hard, and none of that would make you feel terrible if you weren't also carrying those frequencies within yourself. Okay, so be very clear about that. When you are picking up on the disharmonic frequencies in the world and it causes you to go into a tailspin, it's because you're carrying that frequency. So you need to go inside and love those aspects of yourself that are wounded. Love those aspects of yourself that are out of harmony with your own self, right? Love all the parts of you that you have rejected. That's what this is. This is the very base, fundamental, foundational thing. When you come into a state of self-love, okay, where you accept you, you love you, you assume that when you feel something, you're not wrong. That when something is going on, that it's not incorrect, that you're not broken, that you shouldn't be another way. That it's just information that you need to get, right? So when your body goes crazy, okay, slow down. There's nothing wrong with my body. My body is telling me something. What is my body telling me? When your emotions go crazy, okay, slow down, right? There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not messed up. My emotions are trying to send me a message. What is the message? When your mind is going insane, okay, whoa, my mind is telling me I'm totally overstimulated. I need some time and space alone. I need to be with my thoughts. I need to be with my feelings. I need to ground myself back into myself. What am I believing about myself in the world that's causing me all this pain, all this disharmony? And then understand that on the other side of that, you will still walk around and feel the emotional, mental, physical, spiritual disharmonies in the world around you, but it won't take you down anymore. And this is the thing. When you have shifted yourself, you are now holding the new frequency of self-love. You are holding the frequency of self-expression. You are holding the frequency of, this is who and what I am, and I like it. And I'm going to just be myself. And I'm going to live as the light. And no one has to agree with me, and that's okay. Right? You will still be able to pick up on it in other people. But now, on the other side of that, you won't be freaking out about it. And this is the huge, major shift that has to take place for us lightworkers on the planet. Is if we are still afraid of our shit, if we are still afraid of disharmony, if we are still not able to be okay with it, we're not healing the planet. We're causing just as much chaos by trying to snuff it out as everyone else who's living in it, okay? Once you have loved it in yourself, to the point where things come up and it doesn't scare you anymore, it doesn't send you freaking out, it doesn't give you on a tailspin, you don't go into the pits of despair every single time something goes on in your body or you notice a disharmonic frequency. You know how to observe, you know how to love, and then you know how to shift yourself, right? To choose how you want to feel and then to shift yourself to that new place. You will be the most effective healer on the planet, because then anyone who comes into your presence is going to feel that peace and that equanimity, and is going to be able to say, okay, if they cannot be freaking out about what's going on with me, maybe I don't have to freak out about what's going on with me. Because that's the other thing. Everyone else who's not as sensitive to it is still being affected. They are still freaking out about their stuff all the time. They're just like so caught up in it, they don't even see, right? And so everyone else out there is on this like, I am so fucked up thing. That is what is causing all the pain in the world, is that everyone believes they are fucked up. Everyone believes they are a way they shouldn't be. And when you have loved that inside yourself and you have come into a place of self-acceptance, you are then this lighthouse that says, I can love me so you can love you. And then you will be more accepting and compassionate and loving towards everybody else. But again, if you're not that right now, if you're not loving and accepting and compassionate of everybody right now, if everyone is driving you insane, if you are so triggered and so overstimulated and like completely just like, oh my God, the world is so fucked up, take a step back, take yourself out, love all of that inside first. It's not about changing the world, and it's not about changing yourself. It's about loving all of this stuff first. Then you can hold the vibrational frequency of self-acceptance, which that is what transforms the world. So this is why it's so hard, okay? You are being asked to carry a frequency of self-love when the rest of the world is carrying a frequency of self-hate. That is what's going on. You feel that self-hate every single moment of every single day, and you don't even know that that's what you're feeling, but that's all it is. You're feeling the rejection, feeling the rejection, feeling the rejection that everyone else is carrying around, and it's being reflected back to you when you're carrying it around. So you love it inside of you, and then all of a sudden, you don't have to change everybody else. You can be happy inside of yourself. No one has to agree with you for you to feel good. No one has to be where you're at for you to feel good, and that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, that's when you're a true healer. Because when you can love it all inside of yourself, you're not going to be afraid of it in anyone else. And then they can come to you and be all in their crazy stuff, and you can just hold this place of peace and this love and this process that you know how to do. You know how to feel your negative emotions, and then to choose to feel a new way. You know how to feel into your negative body stuff and and let it tell you where the false belief is, so you can come back into alignment. And then you will do that over and over and over again, and realize that your vibration raises and raises and raises until one day, anything that comes up, you know, okay, self-love, just love. I'm just gonna, what is this? What is the disharmony here? Oh, it was that thing I was believing, cool, I love it, and now I shift back to my higher state, higher, and then you hold it for everyone else, okay? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below. Like, subscribe, share, follow me on all the social media, blah, 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 join Patreon, that's really fun. And yeah, just remember, this is all about you learning to love yourself. Because when you've learned to love yourself, you exist in a new frequency. And when you exist in a new frequency, you are setting an example for everyone else. And you hold it. You anchor that new frequency so it makes it easier for other people to get there. Okay? So that's what you're doing. And then if you are having things that are going on with you and you don't know what's going on, ask, what is this? What's happening? Ask yourself, ask your angels, ask your guides, ask the universe to send you a message so that you can understand. Don't freak out. Ask to understand. Okay? That's the biggest key. When you're feeling out of order and you're feeling out of, take a step out, ask to understand. And the answers will be given. I promise you. Alright? So that's the end of that video. I'll see you in episode 5, where we'll talk about how not to fry out as a light worker. And yeah, have an awesome week. Mwah.